This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. In this session, in Scala, shall try to discuss about the difference between normal classes and the case classes. Okay. So we have been using case classes in Spark programming also, right? So what exactly that case class is, and what is the different what differences it has from that of a normal class. Okay, let's try to understand that. It's very simple, guys. This concept of case classes, we don't have any other language where that is the unique feature of this Scala language. Okay, let me show you that. So in this, let me first create. Just delete this. Or I can directly show here. The problem we can write it. Okay. So write some class first. I'll write a class. Some class student. Okay, class student, and here I can write some name colon string equal to, just let me make it as empty first, where id colon int equal to, let me take is 0. That's id name, that's it, enough. So I can define some methods in this class is this. So I can define some methods. So I'm not writing anything here, simply unit equal to println the student data is, I can write like this. Is dollar name and dollar id, and close the method and close the class. Okay, here we have defined a class. Just I'm trying to first show a normal class, later I will try to show a case class. Okay, so after a class is defined, this is the definition of a class, guys. Okay, so in this class we have two variables, those two fields are two properties, name and id, and one method which is called as m1, which is simply displaying the data of the student. Okay, that's it, very simple. Now how do we create an object for this? We create an object by using what? Well, no, we create the object by using the keyword new here, guys. Okay, new is the what we call as, it is operator. Even though it's a word, it is called as an operator. New of student. You need to pass like this. Okay, so new students while some s1. So this s1 is going to become a class of, sorry, s1 it will be a reference to object created for student class. Okay, new student, this statement is going to create, this is going to create a new object, and that object will be referred as s1 here, guys. Okay, so I say that now s1 dot name equal to, let's say, let's say some Raj, and s1 dot id equal to some 201. So s1 dot m1, this shows the student data is Raj and 201. That's it, guys. It's very simple. So creation of a class, not creation, we don't say creation of a class, we will define a class. Okay, defining a class, and creation of object for the class, and defining the attributes, the value for the class variables, and object variables, and using the method. Now this is how we use for a normal class. Okay, now I will now try to show you a case class, how the case class will be there, how case class can be defined. Case class, I use same student only, student case, I call it a student case, the class name is student case. So similarly, something wrong here, what is that? Yeah, you can use like this. So compulsory we need to mention at least to open and closed parentheses. Okay, for a normal class we need not to pass anything, but for a case class compulsory we need to pass at least the empty parentheses, otherwise it won't work. Okay, let us see what is the meaning of that, what happens with that. Let us try to see that later. Okay, so case class student case, and I can use same definition here also, where name string equal to some empty string, where id colon int equal to some 0, and def f1 colon unit equal to println the data is dollar name and dollar id, and close the method and close the class. So this is the definition of a case class. There's no difference, guys. Where the case class and normal class, the definition is same. Okay, we did not change anything. You can observe the difference here, difference between normal class and the case class. Nothing, there's no difference at all. Okay, but no, how can we create an object? So we create an object by using this, isn't it? Some val student equal to new student. This is how we have created what an object. We have created object for the class. Similarly, we can create an object for this class by using new student case. Let me call it as some a1 student case, and next I can write a1 dot name equal to some Anand, a1 dot id equal to some 101. Next a1 dot f1, the method here it is f1, so I am simply calling f1. So the data is Anand and Anand. So there is no difference at all, guys. Everything is same. Whatever we have done with class, that also we have done with case class. Okay, there's no difference at all. Now one difference I'm trying to show now. If I want to create one more object here, I need not to use the keyword new, guys. Here for a case class, that is not required. Directly I can use the object name, that's the class name. So can we create an object for a case class? Can we create an object for a case class without using new keyword? Is it true? Is it possible or not? Yes, it is possible. But for a normal class, what was the name of the class there? S2 equal to student, right? It is simply student. So if I try to use like this, it won't accept. For a normal class, compulsory we have to create an object by using the keyword new. Okay, for a normal class, we can create an object only by using the keyword new. But for a case class, it is not mandatory to use the keyword new. Okay, it can be created without using the keyword new. Okay, this is the first basic difference between a normal class and a case class. Remember this point, guys. Is it fine? Okay. Okay, the first point, just I repeat the statement. We can create an object for a normal class. Oh, sorry. We have to create an object for a normal class by using the keyword new only. Without using new, an object cannot be created for a normal class. But that can be done for a case class. Case class object can be created with or without using the new keyword. This is the first difference. Okay. Next point. I'll try to show something now. See this, guys. Val. What shall I use here? Let me use case class again. One more case class, or simply class. Students. I use students. Class students. Name string, comma, id colon int, comma. So let me write that here, guys. It's fine. It could be if I try to implement here. Let me create a class also here. So it is a class, it's an object, okay? That's fine. Now let's try to create a class inside this. Instead of calling it as case class example, we may do one thing. Delete this first. Let me create a class student. I'm going to take this student class. Okay. So what I'm doing is observe now here. Can I use like this, guys? Name colon string id colon int def compa colon unit equal to println the data is dollar name and dollar id. Okay, this is how I can use a normal class. Okay, now I define the main method here, def main. So in this I create an object for this class. Okay, this is a class, student class. So val s1 equal to new student class. Okay, student class of here, this is the class we have created here, and for this class we are passing two variables, two arguments. Okay, two arguments, they are name and name and id. So these two name id must be passed while creating the object itself. Okay, so name I shall pass as some David, comma, and id I pass as some 3001. So this is how we pass the data. Okay, so if the class is defined like this to accept the data, name and id as, what is this student class is now called as, why, what is this called as, guys? Do you remember about this? The way of passing the data to a class like this. But what is this called as, what? Have you heard about constructor, guys? Constructor. Have you heard about constructor? What is a constructor? It is simply, assigning the data to an object of a class, you know, internally or implicitly without using explicit. That we'll discuss later. Don't worry about this. Just see this student class. We can pass the data like this to a class. Okay. So by creating an object, during the creation of object itself, we can pass the data to it. Okay. Fine. Now, what I'm doing is, now I will create a case class here. Case class, student case class. I call it as some student case class. Here I am passing same thing, name, some string, and id colon int. The same thing I am writing here, declaring, no difference at all. Def f1, I use f1 here, unit equal to println the data is dollar name and dollar id. So now I'm trying to create an object for this. While a1 equal to, I need not use the keyword new now here to create the object of student class case to student case class, and I need to pass the parameters to this here. Name I will pass as some Shankar, and I will pass some ID as some 2001. That's it guys, very simple. Okay, so what I do is after this s1 dot m1, and here use a1 dot f1. That's it guys. Okay, finally let me run this program once. Is it clear? Nothing else guys. Here we have defined one normal class, okay, and we have defined one case class. After this I will try to show you what is the difference between these two. Okay, and for these two classes we have created an objects here. This is the object for the normal class, we have created it, and this is the object for the case class. Okay, let me run this. Yeah, the data is David and 3001 Tinkari is fine, is working fine. Now I will try to show something guys here. Just observe here. DF M2. Just I'm trying to show the difference between these two guys. Okay, just see this. Colon unit equal to what I should use here. 1 second. Let me write out of this. Okay, that's fine. Let me check this to this. Name match, or I can say case data student class of name comma id implies case student class of name comma id implies println same, writing the same thing. Some data is dollar name and dollar id. Case underscore implies println no data. Yeah, this is what I am trying to do here. Okay, just observe what is that I am trying to do here. Just nothing else. I will define the same one more here. Just observe here. dff2 colon unit equal to case student case class of name comma id implies println and the data is dollar name and $id case underscore implies println no data. Yeah, so what is that we have done here? And if something is showing in red color in this editor, there's an error, guys. Okay, there's an error. So so obviously this is where we have the header, sorry, we have that error here. Okay, so if there's no error here, so what do you think, we can use? What that we are trying to do here? What is that we are passing to this f2, and we are using case here? When do we use case, guys, here? For matching, right? When do we use a case? Generally for matching. So let me show you things before this. I will show here, you can understand better about the case class, about not case, about our case here, switch case. Okay, so if I say that mm, 1 second, I will try to show something. Yeah, df f1 or some function unit, let me pass some x colon int. So x matrix is match case 1, if it is case 1, println 1. Next, case 2 implies println 2. This is how we use a match and case. In all we have discussed about this match and case, I think you remembered or not, just I'm making you to recollect this. So we are case, okay, and the case 3, let me use some 3 values, println 3, and finally for default we can use case underscore println other number. And let me close this and close something wrong here, sorry, I did not close that function. X match case 1, case 2, and case 3, and case underscore, close this and close this function and close the method and this one. So if I pass f1 of 1, what is the result I get? 1. So whatever the value I pass here, that value will be a matched. It will be it will try to match with one of the cases here. If we pass the x value as 1, x match. So if the x value is trying to get matched with the what are the options we provide, the values we provide here. So case 1, it is printing 1. If I provide f1 of 2, it prints 2. If I provide f1 of 3, it prints simply 3. If I provide f1 of some 4, it prints what? Other number. F1 of some 5, it also prints other number likewise. Okay, just understand how this case class is defined. It is working here. Case and match is working here. Okay, now in this, what is that we are passing is here? What are this 1, 2, and 3? 1, 2, and 3. What are these? Yeah, please try to respond, guys. What are these 1, 2, and 3? So what is that we are passing here? With what, we are matching, we are making a match, right? We are trying to make a match. With what data we are trying to make a match here? Case 1, 2, 3. Yeah, please try to respond, guys, here. Okay, so what is that we are trying to make a match by using this case and match concept here? With what data we are trying to make a match here? What is x? What is x here?
Integer.
Right, integer, right? So we are using it's input only, but it is an what do you call as integer object. So it is acting as a reference to integer object. So we are just what do you call as comparing the values with integer, that's it. Okay, is it possible So can we call it as a pattern matching here? We are trying to match something with that. Okay, something, whatever the value that we supplied during the runtime, that value is getting matched with, it's getting compared with the whatever all the options we provided, the what are the values we provided here. Okay, now is it possible to pass an object of a class for matching here? Let me repeat the statement. Is it possible to pass or to use, is it possible to use an object of a class, for making a comparison here? Case of an object of a class, case of an object of a class, case of an object of a class. Is it possible like that? You got my point right here. So that is not supported for normal classes, but that will be supported for a case class. That will be supported for a case class case here. Okay, let me show now here. What I do is I create a normal class, case class, not normal class. I will create a normal class, class A. So for this, I pass two parameters here, id some int and name some string. What shall I do here? Just I won't do anything, just simply open and close this. Next I define a case class B, id same id int, comma name colon string. So I have created one case class and one normal class. Now I define a function here, some f3 colon unit equal to. So here what I do is I use case here, the matching here, case of what is that, a of some id comma name implies println normal class data, or you can use normal class data. You can use yes here, $name, $id and $name. Okay, now I can use case b of id comma name, same println is dollar case class data, $id and $name, case underscore, simply I can say println no data. Let me close this. So you can see something else here. So whenever we write like this, it is not showing, it is not throwing any error for case B. You can observe here. It is not throwing any error for case B. What is B here now, guys? Here, B of id comma name. What does this mean, guys? Here, if I write something like this, B of 2 comma Hari. What do you mean by this? With this, what are we trying to do here? We are trying to create an object, isn't it? We are trying to create an object of the case class B. Okay, so if you try to use same thing with A, it is not going to work. A of some 3 comma hello, it won't work. Okay, the thing is here B of B of 2 comma Hari is going to create an object. So that object we can pass as some parameter to case here. That's what we are doing here. Okay, in this case we call it as case classes can be used for pattern matching. Okay, but normal classes cannot be used in the pattern matching. What is this pattern matching? This is what pattern matching we implement that pattern matching by using this case implementation here. Okay, like this. Got it now here? Okay, so we can use an object of a case class for pattern matching. That is, we can pass them as some input, or for matching with something as a matching for case here, but we cannot use an object of a normal class. So in this concept, we say that case classes can be used for pattern matching, but not the normal classes. The same thing here you can observe here. What is that we are doing here? In this method, we are trying to pass student class. We are trying to pass student class object as one of the matching element here, but that doesn't work here. That won't work. But when we try to pass student case class, the object of case class here, this is going to work. This can be called as, this concept will call it, in this concept, what you call as, says that confirms that case classes can be used for pattern matching, but not what you call as the normal classes. This is another difference, guys. What was the first difference? The difference was we can define objects for a case class even without using new operator, new keyword. And second difference is we can use case class objects in pattern matching also. We cannot use normal class in pattern. This is the main feature, guys. This is the main feature of what you call as case classes. So the objects of case classes can be used in the pattern matching. The object of normal classes cannot be used. This is a very important difference between a normal class and a case class, guys. So observe the difference. Any questions in this, guys? Are you able to see this? Student class and student case class. Okay. Yeah, Raviteja, Zakir, do you have any questions on this? Let me show one more example. That would be more clear. What I do is, there is some val a equal to, or L equal to, list of, I will say, let me create a class. Already we have defined one case class, right? Yeah, this is a case class after we have it already. Now what I do is, just see here, val L equal to list of a of not yes, it's b, right? B of some 2 comma Shankar, comma, next B of 3 comma Hari, comma, let us say some 4. I think it is done. That's it. So here we have created a list with 3 elements. So the first 2 elements are objects of the class B, and the third element is the it's of integer. Okay, now see this a method here, def some f2 colon units equal to, this is case B of some id comma name. Otherwise let me pass like this, guys. 1 second. For I to L, for I in L, case B of id comma name implies println the data is $name and $id. Sorry, first thing I think first is name, name, second is id, first is id, second is name. That's fine. After this case, if it is some integer, guys, if it is some what I say here, let me say underscore implies println I say something like some case x colon int implies println the data is simply integer $x, and I close this. What happened here? Error missing parameter type for expanded function. The argument types of RMS function must be fully known. Expected was for I to L case B, that's fine. Missing parameter type for expanded function equal to L. Just find L is the list, right? That's fine. Equal to L case B ID name case X colon int. Then the data is X. Sorry, yes, 1 second. I match. Let me use like this. I match SP and case X and close this. Okay, this is fine. We can see here case here. This was the L data. This was the L data. B 2 objects and 1 integer. You can see this. What is that we are trying to implement here? You can observe here. So what is that we are trying to make a check here? B is an object of the class case class B. This is an object, right? This is an object. So we are simply passing an object. We are using this object for matching. This is called as pattern matching. This is we are using this to check with this. Okay. Let me do one thing now here. Is clear here what we are trying to do here? Okay. Simply we are passing an object of the class, object of the case class for matching purpose. So in this context we say that case classes can be used for pattern matching. Okay, let me be more clear once again. 1 second. So L was there, right? Where was L? Yes, this was the L. Okay, now I define one more class case here, case class some C. Okay, ID int name string some age int yes class C. Okay, now what I'm doing is observe guys here. Already B was there. B was the class there, right? Case class B. ID colon int and name string. Okay, so now here we have created two case classes B and C. Got it? Now I will define val L1 equal to list of B of RD is there, right? L is there already. Let me edit that. And let me use B of and C of name, ID, name and age. Let me check some name, some 23. And let me use B again. B of some 4 comma Priya. So this is one object. And let me use C here. C of 5 comma David. And let me say some 40, 45 is fine. And finally let me say some 60. Okay, so in this list we have used 2 objects of class C and 2 objects of class B and one integer 60. Now I can write like this guys here, for I equal to L. Okay, I match. Now I can use 2 classes are there, B and C, so I can check what is the value of I, whether is it an object of class B, is it an object of class C. See this now. If I holds an object of class B, what is the output you would like to print? What is that action you would like to take? Do something, right? So I matching with object of B, I matching with object of C. So I equal to as uh, id comma name implies, what do we write here? Implies println yes, the B class data is I can use id and name here. Okay, now I can use uh, uh, objects of B for, objects of C for comparison here. Now here id name comma age implies println yes, the class C class data is dollar id comma dollar name and dollar age. Next case some x colon int, we have integer also, right? Int equal to implies simply println the integer is dollar x. That's it, guys. Close this and close the class. You can observe here. So what is it we are trying to do here? We are using the classes of the objects of the classes, case classes, for matching here. Can you see this now here? So what is that we are using? We are using, this list has the objects of class B and class C and one integer. So mainly it has the objects of class B and class C. So we are passing, we are checking whether we are trying to make a match with the elements of L, that we are passing. Every element will be passed to I. So we are making a check with I. If I is an object of class B, if I is an object of class C, if I is simply an integer, so we can pass the objects, we can make a comparison, we can make a check, we can make a match with the objects of a case class. This is the how we use. Okay, in this context we say that case classes can be used for pattern matching. Is it clear, guys? I think this must be clear to you now. So we have created two classes and we have created one collection of some these objects of these classes, and we are making a match with the objects of the class. Okay, we can do like this, but this can't be done, this type of matching cannot be done for a normal class objects. Okay, for normal class object this can't be done. Is it clear, guys? Is it fine? Do you have any questions in this, guys, please? Yeah, Hina, Mantosh, Zakir, Lakshman, Raviteja, Anurag. Do you have any questions on this? How case classes can be used in pattern matching? If someone asks you like this, just try to write this code snippet. Okay, define two classes and some list or some collection. You can use any some collection and use this loop and try to implement this match. So in this way we can use case classes for pattern matching. Is it fine, guys? This is possible only with case classes, guys, not with normal classes. Any questions, guys, in this?
So normally we don't get data in this format, no, sir?
Which format?
Like in the form of list or something.
We may not get on the form of a list or anything. But if the list, it can be, it need not be any list. It can be a file or it can be anything. In that case, we can use the objects for pattern. That's it. Very simple. That's it. Nothing else. I can say that we can use the objects for matching purpose, guys. That's it. Whether it is a list or array or anything else again, it need not worry about it. But it can be used for making a match. Pattern matching. So this is one case here. This is one pattern case actually. This is one pattern. This is another pattern. Another pattern of class. There's another class. It belongs to one class. This belongs to another class. Object of another class. So this is one pattern. This is another pattern. So it is making a check. It is making a match. Which pattern it is what you call as matching with. Which pattern it is matching with. It is making that match. That is called as the pattern matching. Match with a particular pattern. Got it? Not to worry about it. Very simple, guys. Just understand that. Just simply keep in your mind that the objects of a case class can be used for pattern matching. In what sense? How you can say that? This is how we can implement it. That's it. Whether data is in list or array or in some other storage for in other some file or in something, that doesn't matter. Wherever it may be, but we can use like this. Okay. Fine. Now, so we have been using these case classes in our Spark programming. Why we have been using these case classes in the what you call as in the Spark programming? Okay. First, let me show you that case class student ID int and name string. Okay, ID student and name string. Now what I do is val a1 equal to student. That's it. Student of 2 comma Hari. Now what I do is a1 dot id equal to, I would like to change the value 3. What's happening here, guys? A1 dot name equal to some Shankar. What's happening with this? Can you try to understand here? See this now. We have created a case class, that's fine, with ID and name, and we have created an object for it. Okay, we have created an object for it. So with that object, we are passing the data to that object, 2 as ID and Hari as name. Okay, and we are trying to reassign that, we are trying to change the value of the ID and the value of name, but it's not allowing. So if it is not allowing, what does that mean, guys? If you're not, you're saying a reassignment to value. What is the meaning of it? Why? No? Yeah, when we create, here we are creating variables, right? We are creating some parameters here, arguments. So by default, for a case class, these variables will be created as immutable. You got my point here? These will be by default will be created as mutable. That is showing the reassignment to val. Okay. So in Spark, what type of objects are preferred to be created always? Immutable objects are to be used to be created always. Not preferred to be created always. So that's the reason we use case classes mostly there, and for as the support pattern matching also we use there. Okay. So ID and name by default they have become immutable references. By default they have become, so it is same as something like this. The same thing, it is same as this one. Okay, so we don't mention anything val anything here. So by default they will become val in the sense immutable, right? Val creates immutable references. If you want, we can also create var also. We can create var also. Var. Okay. In this case now, if I create a variable object for this, and if I say a1 dot id equal to some 3 now, it will work. A1 dot name equal to some Shankar, some is there something, it will work now. So for a case class, we are passing the variables, right? So what about the nature of these variables or references? The nature of these references. These references are by default immutable. These references are by default immutable. Okay, but we can also use mutable, but that is not recommended to use. So as by default they are going with immutable nature, they are best fit for usage in Spark programming? Well, because Spark programming always supports or always recommends to use immutable references or immutable objects. Clear, guys? So this is one more feature of this case class. What is that? The variables of case class are by default immutable, isn't it? The references of that we use in case class are by default immutable. Even they support mutable nature also, but it is not recommended to go with mutable. It is recommended to go with mutable nature. Fine, guys? Is it okay? Is it fine? Are any questions on this? So we have seen three main features of the case class, guys. Case classes can be, the objects of case class can be used without using a new keyword, and we can pass the case class objects for pattern matching or for matching. We can use them for matching. And third is the variables in case class can be used. Sorry, by default they will be the immutable. Will be created as immutable references. That immutability is preferred for Spark programming. That is the reason we use case classes mostly in our Spark programming. If there is a question uh, for from someone that why we need to use case classes in Spark programming to assign the schema, why can't we use normal classes? Yes, we may use normal classes, but those normal classes cannot be used for pattern matching. Okay, but case classes can be used for pattern matching. This must be your answer, guys. Okay, so if they ask you what is pattern matching, just show them whatever the implementation I have shown you with the for loop and case B, case C. Just try to show like that. Okay, that will be very clear, and that will be done. Fine, guys. Here, this is what the basic idea about the case classes, guys. Any questions on this? Yeah. If no questions, just let us wind up the Scala session and take a break of 5 to 10 minutes, guys, and come back. We shall start the Spark session. Okay. Thank you, guys. Let's resume the session in 10 minutes. Thank you.